What's going on, guys? JSR Music here. I'm alive! I haven't uploaded in like over 2 weeks, but you know what? I haven't gotten to it. So I've been busy and lacking motivation. Anyways, today's a weird little different video. I decided to do something my friend Adam Walker's doing on his channel. Is doing a full CD collection so far what I own. And that's exactly what I'm going to do today. I don't have a ton. It's probably like a 5-minute video. I don't really know. I'm going to try and go in depth about some of the albums, how I feel about them. But let's start at the bottom of the stack. Actually, no, I don't want to move it. Let's set this top. Number one at the top is Breaking Benjamin's 6th album, Ember. Came out April 13th of 2018. A phenomenal album. I love it to bits. Super solid album. There's really not a bad track on there. There's least favorites, but there's no bad track. All of them are good. So, Ember. I have them kind of grouped up by artist in a way. So, next up we have Dark Before Dawn by Breaking Benjamin, of course. This is their 5th album from 2015. Their first album since Dear Agony in 2009 after they went on the whole lawsuit hiatus thing with the other original members and Ben. But you know what? It works. They came back powerful, strong, and I absolutely adore this album. It's actually in my top 5 albums of all time. Next up is, I'm actually going to grab the whole stack here. Here we go. We have Dear Agony from 2009, their 4th studio album. Actually, my most favorite album of all time is this album here, because one, my favorite Breaking Benjamin album, 2, favorite album of all time. It's actually their shortest album. It's only 11 songs out of the usual 12 or 13, but it's like tracks that I tend to return to or fade away. Dear Agony, of course, the title track. It's an emotional ride of an album, but you can just feel the emotion in his voice, in Ben's voice. Next up, we have the Phobia, their 3rd album, 2006, Collector's Edition, if you look on the label here. Right there. I actually, I had to take out the DVD in the case because, you know, it kind of broke. So I kind of copied over the artwork and have the DVD in here. So I have 2 separate cases. So I have two Phobia Collector's Editions, which is one of the CD and DVD. Next up, we have We Are Not Alone from 2004. Great album. I have one problem with this. I accidentally purchased the edited version, so there's that. So, you know, it's like right as when in Simple Design, when Ben's about to say fuck or whatever, it's just like, gone. I'm like, dang it. Why did you do this to me? Sorry about that. Phenomenal album. Good. Probably the best BB opener for an album is So Cold. People say it's their best openers are like Phobia and J.R. Jane, but I find So Cold to be the best out of all of them. So that's good. And finally, for my video back in December of my CD pickups, I have Saturate, which completed my collection of Breaking Benjamin albums. Their 1st album from 2002. They're actually, by track listing, longest album, I believe. It has 13 songs on it. If you don't include, because it says only 12 in the back, but after Shallow Bay right there, there's a secret song called Forever. That it shows up after that, it just kind of flows into there. Alright, enough with that stack, let's go on to the next 2. We have 2017's release from Avenged Sevenfold, their the Stage Deluxe Edition. This album got too much hate for what it deserved. It was an actual great album. One of the first Avenged albums I actually ever listened to. And actually, it doesn't deserve the hate it gets. It's actually kind of a little cool holographic kind of case in there, which is why I love it. Next up, we have their 2010 release, Nightmare. Nightmare is actually my number 5 favorite album of all time. It's either gets a lot of love or either gets a lot of hate. For me, I absolutely love Nightmare because of the emotional connection of they did. Because if you take out the CD out of the case, one second, you can see a little thing in there. 2009 is when their drummer, The Rev, died. You can see behind the CD is that little homage right there to them. Because, you know, Jimmy was their brother. and their friend and their drum mate, bandmate. Alright, after that is Parkway Drive Reverence. This album gets too much hate. I love it so much. I'm a huge metalcore fan. And honestly, Parkway just deserves more attention, especially on this album, because either it's loved or it's hated. It's got a nice little feel on the case here. It's got a little sleeve, and then you take it out. It shows the album art. And I love it because if you open up the case real quick, and you take out the CD... Just place it over here for a second. In the song "Wishing Wells," it has the line "Burn your heaven, flood your hell." And it has that on here with a little vortex of doom. I believe this album was actually based off of Dante's Inferno. I'm pretty sure, but hence that little, just the whole Renaissance looking artwork on there. So there's that. There's Reverence. After that, we have Disease by Beartooth. Disease, a masterpiece. There's every single song on here is perfect. At first listen, I didn't like the song Bad Listener because I just didn't like the intro vocals of it. But after about 20 listens or so, 20 listens or more, I've lost track of how many times I've listened to this album. After about however listens I have, easily this album is a 10 out of 10 for me. It's about something I can relate to very heavily that the singer Caleb goes through every day, or most days. Alright, after Beartooth Disease, we have Nothing More self-titled. This album, I love it. I know I've said about almost every CD I have because I only buy the albums I really, really enjoy. Their self-titled album came out in 2014, I believe. And it opens up with a synthy kind of auto-tune-esque sound of Ocean Floor, and then turns into the instant headbanger of This Is the Time, or Ballast. And it goes. It doesn't stop, it just goes. After the self-titled album, we have The Stories We Tell Ourselves in 2017, their third album, I believe. Very, very, very good album. There's a few tracks on here I don't really like the most, like, Ripping Me Apart and Funny Little Creatures. I'm not really fans of those tracks. I tend to skip those. But, all the interlude tracks on here, they're okay. There's a couple, I don't really listen to all of them all the time. Sometimes how I'm feeling as I listen to them. Next up, we have I'm gonna grab both these two CDs. Actually, technically four. 2015's Of Beauty and Rage by Red. Great album, great, solid album. Not a bad track on it at all whatsoever. I have to get more into Red to know more about them to figure out what's going on with them. After that, we have their anthology of their first three albums, which include End of Silence, Innocence and Instinct, and Until We Have Faces. If you remember from back in December, is when I actually got these two CDs for the CD pickup video. Onward with those. This little guy here. A single song on a single CD. I got this when I went to Northern Invasion in 2018. Some guy kind of walked with it. Here, take this. These guys are kind of cool. This song is called Voices by Firefight. They're a pretty new band, but they're honestly a really, really, really good band. It's a single song, and it's really, really cool artwork on there. There you go. After that, we have a gift from a friend, the same with the self-titled of Nothing More. My friend got me a signed copy of Catacombs by Like a Storm from their 2018 release, in their second album, I believe. And this album is just... There's one or two songs I tend to skip past, but there's a lot of them I love, like, example, Until the Day I Die and Bullet in the Head. Those are just... Sorry about that. Strange grunting noises. You know, because I'm a very sporadic person. You know, my only problem with this is actually not the CD, it's the case. It's a very strange case. You see, the CD is in this little fold back over here, and it doesn't like to come out all the time very well. There you go. Okay, here's the CD, by the way. Looks pretty cool. And then it fits in there weird, and it goes together. But you know, it's a very clean case. I'm actually wearing this next band. I'm going to show you guys these next CDs. I'm actually wearing this band right now. Disciple. I have their 2016 release, Long Live the Rebels. Very, very underrated album. Very good album. And Disciples from 2014, Attack. Attack is probably my favorite Disciple album, right next to Scars Remain. I had to buy that CD yet. I'm probably going to buy it soon. But Scars Remain and Attack. Oh, sorry. Oh. Sorry, Long Live the Rebels, not Scars Remain. Long Live the Rebels and Disciple Attack are the ones I own. I got these at the show I went to, same with the shirt back in December. Free show, awesome show, it was amazing. If you look back on this channel a few weeks ago, I posted like 2 videos from the concert. Next up we have Godsmack, When Legends Rise. This is actually my very first Godsmack album I ever listened to, and it was really good because I saw it at Walmart. It was $10. I'm like, hey, you know what? I want this. And then you see it trifolds open up to show the CD and have a little awesome artwork all over the place. You know what? I love this album. Some people don't, some people do, but you know what? That's just me. This next album gets too much hate. I absolutely adore the album. It's 2018 release, 6th studio album of Gravity by Bullet for My Valentine. This album just gets too much hate that it does not deserve. Yes, there's 1 or 2 tracks here that suck. Actually, only one, which is Not Dead Yet, which I hate that track, but sometimes I listen to it. I don't know why I do, but it doesn't matter. Gravity is an amazing album. Easily 9 out of 10! Sorry. The next 3 CDs are from one of my favorite rock bands of all time, Skillet. We have their 2013 release, Rise, 2009 release, Awake, and 2006 release, Comatose. Not much to say about this except for Comatose is in my top 5 albums of all time. Same with Dear Agony, Dark Before Dawn, and stuff like that. My last 2 CDs here, actually, I'm going to do separately, is 3 Days Grace's second album, 1X. 1X is an amazing album. You cannot deny it. It's by far their best. Can't deny that it's not. It's just, look at this. First of all, the booklet here, if I just pull it out real quick. If you just unfold it once, it is, look at that. That's awesome. It just unfolds, and you can unfold even more into a literal small looking poster thing on the inside here with all the lyrics. If I ever get a second copy of 1X, I'm definitely gonna put one of these on my wall because, you know, 1X is easily one of my favorite albums. It's an honorable mention, I believe, on my top 5 list. Lastly is a band I don't really think makes music as often more. Is their debut EP of The City Harmonic. Sorry. The City Harmonic is a Christian band, same with Skillet, from Canada, I believe. But they're not bad. There's only really one song I really return to on this EP is Manifesto. Their most popular, I believe. It's a good EP, but it's not completely for me. Oh, look at that. The case is broken. Isn't that wonderful? This thing is like 10 plus years old, so I don't know. Doesn't matter. That will actually conclude my my CD collection. It looks like we are at 13 minutes for a video, and I didn't realize that was me that long. I thought it was like 5 minutes. I went into way in depth with this. I guess that's the end of probably today's video or this week's video. If you guys did enjoy the video, please considering liking, subscribing, or hitting that notification bell when you can see my uploads when they show up. If I ever figured out a schedule I have. But if you do enjoy the video, let me know. If you had any recommendations or favorite CDs on the list, let me know. I'm JSR Music. Keep rocking.